Hey everyone, it's Kristen. So I know I'm super late filming this, but I don't know. It was a long day. I couldn't sleep anyway, so here we are. Um, and I realized like this, it's still cold here, and this is a coat. I found it in my closet, but I realize now, like on camera, it looks like a bathrobe. So I probably won't be wearing this again. And I took down the backdrop, the towel my sister gave me, um, because Dazzler just wouldn't leave it alone, and then that means that I'd have to lock her in the hallway every time I did a video, and that also means that she would never be in one of these videos again. So I was like, well, I guess I'll have to take it down. So I did. So that's kind of sad, but you know, if I want her to be in in videos if she wants to be. Then yeah, so I had to take it down. So for today, like Saturday and Sunday, it's this picture of Miss Marvel. Well, or she could be Warbird at this time. It just depends on which comic this is from. Jessica Jones, Jewel, Mockingbird, Spider Woman. So on my channel, I did Spider Woman 38, which featured the X-Men, and then X-Men 148 is kind of a direct continuation of that story if you want to learn more about Spider-Woman and her origins. She has really weird origins. And then Jewel, this incarnation of Jessica Jones, like there was, I think it was in a 3-pack, like Heroes for Hire action figure set, and I don't know, I just love this look for her, and so I really wanted that action figure, but it's pretty hard to find, and even if you do find it, it's pretty expensive. So I'm like, well, I don't know. I mean, I try to just exclusively collect X-Men action figures, but I have deviated from that. Deep X-Men action figures because of my mansion. But yeah, I've deviated from that some, but if the action figure is pretty expensive, then I'm like, well, okay, I really shouldn't get it. And of course Mockingbird, like Adrian Polecki, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She did a great job of portraying her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's one of those shows that I watched like probably at least every other year. Maybe not every year, but every other year for sure. It sucks that she was only in, like 31 episodes of that show though. But I'm glad she was in it, and she was in the unaired Wonder Woman TV pilot that, we've just seen like pictures, stills from. So hopefully one day we actually get to see it, but probably not. It's probably the same as like the Batgirl movie. They completed it, but almost completed it, but we'll never see it. I believe Adrian was also in a G.I. Joe movie, and she was in the first John Wick movie. And I think that's all I know her from, are those 4 things. But she does a really good job, and she's really good at action. So yeah, I was disappointed she wasn't in more episodes. Anyway, so let's see, what is the next stamp? So, oh, Dracula, interesting. And you can find this stamp in Doctor Strange number 2, Marvel Spotlight number 14, and War is Hell number 11. And Doctor Strange and Marvel Spotlight are in 1974, and War is Hell is in February 1975. And so this is from, the stamp image is from the Tomb of Dracula number 2. So it's interesting because I just talked about Dracula, briefly mentioned him in the video I did on Storm 3, because I referenced Uncanny X-Men 159, where Dracula tries to make Storm, his bride. Um, so it's interesting because originally, of course, like in 1970, I think when he first kind of appeared in Marvel Comics, they treated him as just like Conan the Barbarian, as a separate entity. He never like crossed over, into other franchises. And then they started to, since the Comic Code of Authority relaxed like the use of vampires, because it used to be pretty strict. Like you couldn't, once it got enacted, it was strict. You couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. So once they relaxed it, then they started using more vampires. Like around that time, Morbius was also created, and then they transitioned and having Dracula interact with other franchises in the Marvel universe. So interesting, yeah, that Dracula is number 5. Like I said, I feel like when they were listing the 100 characters for these stamps, they would have shouted out, or brainstormed the most popular characters at the time would have been first. So I'm kind of surprised. I mean, some of these have surprised me that they're listed kind of in the top 10, because I feel like they would have picked the most popular ones, or those would have come to mind first. So yeah, some of these have definitely surprised me. So I guess tune in. So technically today is Monday. Yeah, Monday. So I guess tune in tomorrow for Monday, Tuesday's video. Yeah. So tune in tomorrow for that. So until next time. Bye.